And I look in my rearview mirror and I see this Subaru just barreling down the road towards me. And I just know she's gonna hit me. At the very last moments, her hazards flash and she comes to a screeching halt, all because of her emergency braking. That's one of the main reasons Subaru is number 5 on our list of safest car brands. So our top 5 are listed here, and we'll start with number 5, Subaru. Subaru was founded in 1917 in Japan. After World War II, the company had turned its attention to producing automobiles and released its first car. Then in the 1960s, Subaru began exporting its vehicles to the United States, and it quickly gained a reputation for producing reliable and durable cars. Then in the 70s, the company released its first 4-wheel drive vehicle, the Subaru Leon, which helped to establish the brand's reputation for producing rugged and capable cars. I believe every Subaru car is equipped with all-wheel drive. What that allows is for very capable driving in any circumstances. I know that I was in Colorado one time driving up a mountain during a blizzard, and I was driving a 97 Plymouth Voyager, not the most ideal car for the situation, and these Subarus were just boom, 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 going right past me. I didn't have a chance. You know, of course they're used to the snow and also incapable vehicles, and I'm not used to the snow and driving a 90s minivan. So if you've recently seen a Subaru, you may notice the 2 cameras at the top of the windshield. Those cameras are kind of the heart of what they call their eyesight driver assist technology. And this is a suite of advanced safety features that include automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and adaptive cruise control. So Subaru vehicles are equipped with advanced airbag systems. Subaru vehicles are built with a reinforced body structure that helps to absorb and distribute the energy of a collision. I don't know if you've seen the Subaru commercial where he's like washing his Subaru out back and then it like flashes back and he sees this just completely destroyed vehicle. I think they're kind of pushing that message on the marketing there. And lastly is the all-wheel drive like I was talking about. So it actually will adapt traction and wheel spin depending on if you're turning or if you're starting to slide and those kind of things, which can really help in inclement weather to reduce accidents. Number 4 on our list is Hyundai. Hyundai is a South Korean car brand. Initially they were a construction company, but in the 60s they started to diversify from construction and all those kind of things into other industries, including the production of automobiles. And in 1975, Hyundai released its first car, the Pony. The Pony was a small, affordable car popular with consumers, and it helped establish Hyundai as a major player in the automotive market. Historically, you could think of old Hyundais and how they maybe aren't the best cars on the road. However, that's completely flipped itself on the head in recent years. A few of the features they do have are automatic emergency braking. This uses sensors all across the car to see if a car's coming up and braking. A little bit different than Subaru. It's not cameras, it's actually sensors, but tomato, tomato. They also have lane departure warning if you are driving down the highway. I had a rental one time and it got to be very late at night and it saved my butt a couple of times from kind of vibrating or making a sound at me when I was coming out of the lane. Number 3 is blind spot detection. So this is gonna be on your mirrors or on your dash to tell you that there is a car in your blind spot. And then this is a unique one that some cars have, but it's something I want to touch on, is a rear cross traffic alert. So what this feature does is if you are backing up, before you even come close to backing out of your driveway or backing out of somewhere where you can't see traffic coming, it'll actually be able to see around that corner using sensors. I know, especially as cars get larger or sight out of the back of the car is much more difficult, this feature is extremely important and very useful. Hyundai vehicles are equipped with advanced airbag systems, much like the Subarus. You know, they have airbags in the front, in the side curtain, in the B-pillar, all these places to make sure that in the event of an accident, you are safe from hitting any hard surfaces. Coming in at number 3 on our list is Volvo. When I was writing the script for this video and kind of brainstorming for it, my wife said, so Volvo's on the list, right? And that's just because the Volvo brand just speaks safety for so long. They've always been known as the car company that puts safety first. I know we test drove a Volvo one time, drove a Nissan Altima, which was fine, and then we got into the Volvo and we shut the door and it was just different. It was heavy. It felt like, even though it was a smaller car, that it brought some weightiness to it. The first vehicle was a vehicle called OV4. It was a small, affordable car that was just hugely popular with consumers. In the 30s, they kind of switched gears and started building larger trucks and other vehicles and decided to change from everyman car to more luxurious and larger vehicles. Over the years, they've expanded their lineup from the OV4, and they have a whole range of vehicles, including sedans, wagons, SUVs, and all that kind of thing. Still with safety first in mind. They have a suite of features known as city safety. Now, this includes emergency braking, pedestrian and cyclist detection. They also have what's called lane keeping aid, and this uses sensors all across the vehicle to make sure that you stay in the lane while you're driving. So they have what's called blind spot information system. So again, this is blind spot monitoring. Adaptive cruise control, again, much like a lot of the other vehicles on the list, this helps if you are on the interstate or even in the city in stop and go traffic. It makes sure that you do stay a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you, depending on the speed that you're driving. And then again, the advanced airbag systems, not only do Volvos come with that cachet of being big and hefty, but they do feature a whole slew of airbags to protect the driver and passengers in the event of a collision. Number 2 on our list is Mazda. Mazda, in my mind, has always been known for speed. You know, the zoom zoom commercials. Zoom zoom. The RX-8s, the answer to any question is a Miata kind of thing if you're a car person. All of those things, Mazda's always just been speed and fun to drive and little cars that, in my mind, don't lend themselves to safety. However, Mazda actually brings some pretty interesting things to the table in terms of safety. So they have the whole suite of features as everyone else, what they call iActive Sense, which is just the automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, all of those things that the other car brands have, as well as the advanced airbag system. Now, the interesting thing are these last 2 points. They have what's called a sky-active body structure. They're engineered to, in the event of an accident, actually absorb and distribute the energy of a collision, reducing the impact on the driver and passenger. And lastly, vehicle stability. They do actually take that kind of racing heritage and take that to their stability control to really help in the event of oversteer or loss of control of the vehicle. Number 1 on our list is Genesis. I'll make note here that the G90, the large Genesis sedan, received a perfect 10 score. Now, Genesis is a luxury brand owned by Hyundai. Genesis was launched exclusively in 2015, and they have designed other high-end vehicles. They compete with the Mercedes-Benz and the BMWs and the other high-level luxury brands. They initially released the G80 in 2016. They've since released the G70, GV80, GV60, 70. They have all those safety features from Hyundai. So what they've done is, because they have fewer vehicles to focus on, they've been able to engineer those vehicles to be as safe as possible. So you may know, Tiger Woods was actually driving a Genesis GV80, I believe, when he was in his terrible accident a couple years back. And just to see such a high profile person be in such a terrible accident and then to actually be back on the golf course, such great things for his doctors and the surgeries he's had. If he hadn't been put in that situation by the vehicle he was driving, a Genesis, then none of that would have mattered. That by itself is a pretty great marketing message for Genesis as a brand. So there you have it, our top 5 safest car brands. Now, with all this being said, any vehicle that has those safety features we've talked about, the adaptive cruise control, the automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, the lane departure warning, the safety airbags, any of those vehicles are going to be very safe. Modern cars these days are engineered and designed with safety in mind. I will say that if you blindly just want to close your eyes and pick a car, that any of those 5 car brands we've talked about today are a good starting place. Subscribe to our channel and go follow us on Instagram and TikTok and all those other places so that we can help spread our message of making insurance a lot less of a pain in the butt. There you have it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.